Okay, hello. Let me start by saying that I'm very happy to join this interesting discussion, of course, and thank you very much for inviting me. Let me also say that I like the forward-looking attitude indicated by the title of this particular panel, What's Next? Then we never know. Strongly, I believe that the most important key to getting these things right in the ongoing legislative work is paint and clearly picture of where we are hedging. What do we want payments markets to look like in 5, 10, or 20 years? Of course, I cannot see into the future. Of course, I cannot predict what is going to happen. And at the same time, however, I think I can actually say something about what conditions are needed for development of the beneficial. I'm quite confident that I don't know that what fundamentals are necessary for the payments market to thrive. First, we have a very constitutional promotion, fair and efficient competition. We have to create a general legislation and supervisory framework. We are all actors, obligatory to respect one another's. Where a new entrants have to be accepted by old incumbents, and where there are all relevant way, it's a level playing field. This is a very challenging task. Looking at the current market situation, there is a long way to go to get there. Competition is poor at a large part of the payments market, which a current setup. A few large players are able to go more or less completely control the market. This is a bad news for everyone except for the big guys. It's clearly detrimental to the society as a whole. In promoting competition, I think the new regulation on interchange fee is a crucial step in the right direction. That move should now be carefully followed up in the final stage of the work to recite the Payment Service Directive. Excuse me, I need to put down my phone. My line is clear. I find it very positive that the new third-party actors bring added competition to the market. They should now be given a fair chance to establish themselves and to develop their services. Basically, they should have the same rights and obligations as any other payment service provider. Turning to the second factor, we need to have a strong focus on stimulating innovation. This is another major chance for the revision of the Payment Service Directive. In almost everything that we do in that process, we must avoid creating rules that protect older structure and hinder the breakthrough of new technologies. This is actually not the easy task. It's often quite tricky to take the long-term perspective. Regarding innovation, developments have been reasonably good in recent years. However, they could be a lot stronger in the coming years if we manage to regulate it wisely. Looking at the payment system as a whole, there is a great potential for making it much more efficient. Just to make one observation, there are now numbers of cutting-edge smartphones technologies that are still not being actually used in the market. I think the better regulation could help in that regard. Finally, regarding the third factor, we have to ensure that consumers' perspective is always strong. We should look carefully at all options available to make payments easier, more secure, and less costly for the consumers. What is good for the consumer is, for the most of the time and always, very good even for the society as a whole. On the consumer teams as well, I see a lot of room for improvements in the Payment Service Directive. Key issues, for example, concern the right to use third-party actors, refund in the context of directive debit, and termination of framework contracts. To conclude, competition, innovation, and customer perspective should be the focal points of the continued efforts. This is the key to make the payments market work. And I hope you understand my English. It's not perfect, but I understand the most of it. And when you come to the questions, no details. As an MEP, it's impossible to go through all the details. So if you have detailed questions, go to someone else, maybe to the Commission. So thank you very much, and I hope we can find a solution. We're going to have the first trialogue today, and it's going to be for 1.5 hours around, and then we have 4 trialogues left. And I hope we can find a solution, both for the companies and even for the banks and everyone who use this kind of quick pass. And I must say also that when I look from a Swedish point of view, I must say I never use cash. I use my card. I use my phone and everything. And that you can say that's one of the problems when you come to the legislation. We're 28 different countries. And it's a big difference between in all these countries. And of course, it's what I try to say many times. I have been working for Volvo for more than 41 years. And I was a union representative in the board of AB Volvo, and I have created a lot of agreements. I'm not satisfied with any one of them. I don't get what I want. Thank you.
Thank you, Olle. I have to ask also a Swedish question, because it never ceases to...
Take it in Swedish, please.
Oh, no. That's far too complicated for everyone else also. My Swedish is not that good. But from your standpoint as a user or a consumer also in Sweden, you have some fantastic examples of innovation in this space. If I look at Klarna, if I look at Swish, some of the things that I'm sure that you would love to be able to use when you leave Sweden and go to the rest of the European Union. Do you have a perspective on why is it that we get such innovation and new possibilities in Sweden that are not replicated as quickly in the rest of Europe?
It's not so easy to say, but if you look at the northern countries, of course, they have had a lot of improvements when it comes to how you should pay. When I come to Brussels, for example, I need to go to change to euro directly when I cross the border. And that's one of the problems. I can see that it's very efficient, and it's very good to use it. And I always say Swiss. It's very nice. You put in how you should pay and to who, and you make it on the phone number, and then you go direct to the account for the other person. So it's good, and I use it every time.
Yeah. Because certainly from a personal perspective, when you try to use any of these mobile payment systems, if you park in one car park, you use one system. If you park in another one, you use another system. It's quite complicated for anybody who doesn't actually live in the EU or live in that particular country to be able to do some of these transactions. We make it quite complex for you.
Yes. But if you look at Gothenburg, it's enough with an app.
Perfect.
Yes.
The whole of Gothenburg.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. I'm going to throw it open. I'm sure that many people probably have questions for Olle. No one wants to ask him anything challenging before he goes to the trilogue.
My name is Gijs Bouwden from the Dutch Payments Association. Maybe I didn't quite understand. Hello? Yeah. You mentioned, sorry, the market was still dominated by a handful of large players. I wasn't sure if you meant a couple of large banks or a couple of large companies like Google, Apple, Facebook.
This is every one of them, I think. But of course, when they come to this kind of system, it's for the most of the time it's banks. But we need the banks too. So. But I think it's very good with a little bit more of competition.
Can I ask maybe a daft question at this point, but given that we're talking about payment systems and moving money, would you not expect banks to dominate that franchise? I understand what you're talking about in terms of third-party players, so the convenience and apps, but
yes.
The underlying infrastructure, would you expect that banks would continue to play a large role in that,
Yes,
just for the security of money?
Yes, I think so. I think so. They're going to play a dominant role even in the future. But I think you need competition.
Balance.
Competition in the market.
Okay. So it's maybe striking that balance between...
Yes, and then you need legislation, of course, even for the banks. And I think I met closely most of you in this audience here. So I have had all that questions.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate, I know you've got a busy afternoon, so thank you
Yes,
very much for joining us. And I'm sure people will reach out to you for questions after the trilogues, no doubt, to find out how it went and what happened. Thank you very much, Olle.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.